हेलो एवरीवन, गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड इवनिंग, गुड आफ्टरनून, किसी भी समय पे आप इस वीडियो को देख रहे हैं। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। वेलकम बैक टू रिदम रिवाइव एंड टुडे वी हैव आवर सुपर एनर्जेटिक हैप्पीनेस कोच दीपा कृष्णमूर्ति विद अस। जी हाँ, post the last video high on demand for her genuinity, authenticity. Back again, Deepa, welcome to the show. So happy to see you once again.
Thank you so much. That's such a wonderful, hyping introduction that, all I need to do is just have a chat with you, Sahitya, especially on days I feel low. And yeah, it's wonderful to be back. Thank you so much for having me again.
Most welcome. Pleasure is all mine. And I think I think the chat is so natural for both of us. We just do it, right? Without
Yeah, it
even
just
uh,
flows.
it just flows. So
Yeah.
uh, last time I think we touched upon a lot of things, confidence and uh, self-doubt and positive self-talk, and I get that positive energy, as I told you last time as well, from you.
Right.
And it's inspiring a lot of people as well. And today I had this topic wherein, which is really, really important, I feel, for all of
Mhm.
us. That is self-awareness. I think we touched upon this particular thing a little bit last time as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's true. Yeah.
yeah, so I was like, okay, self-awareness is something which we are lacking. And I was just researching.
Mm. Mm.
I got to know 10 to 12% people are only self-aware. Okay, so only 10
Wow,
to
that's
12% of
shocking.
us
Mm-hmm.
are like, they are like aware of themselves. And I was like shocked. I mean, if you're not aware of yourself, like you're aware of the outer world rather than the inner world.
Mm, mm,
Okay.
absolutely. Oh, wow. Okay. So we are the 10 to 12%, the privileged 10 to 12%. But yeah, that number is quite shocking. But yeah, I mean, thinking about it, not so shocked really, because the sort of world that we live in, it's very
Mm-hmm.
surface level. It's very materialistic. Like you rightly mentioned, we are always focused on looking outward than inward for a lot of reasons. So yeah, I really hope that the percentage gets better because I think you and I can definitely agree that in the last few months or probably years, we have been connecting with individuals and who have been talking more about self-awareness. And it's
Right.
nice to see a lot of people, exploring their journey in self-awareness. So yeah, let's hope that the percentage increases.
Absolutely. And it's just a step, audiences,
Yeah.
for all of you. It's Rhythm Revive is just one of the steps that we have taken uh, towards making people self-aware, and that's the first step towards the journey of self-growth. While, as you said, Deepa, we are somewhere or the other, we are at the surface level. All of us get into things and then realize that, okay, we are into this, uh,
Yeah, that's true.
and without being aware. So let's just dive into the topic of
Okay.
self-awareness. We have been using this word, but for a lot of people, I would like to know from your point of view, you being a happiness coach, what
Mm.
what do you mean when you say, self-awareness?
Okay. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? Like self is self and awareness is being
Yeah.
aware, but
Hmm.
it's so much more deep than that. You and
Hmm.
I know that. So being really aware of who you are as a person internally
Mm-hmm.
is something that we tend to miss. And I strongly feel that, okay, let's take a step back, right?
Hmm.
A lot of us who have journeyed into being self-aware have probably gone through some big life event that has probably made us look inward, right?
Hmm.
And I think that a lot of us are not even educated. A lot of us don't even know that there is something called self-awareness to start with. So sorry, coming back to what I was saying, my definition of self-awareness or how I look at self-awareness is just looking at who I am as a soul, a person. This includes my thoughts, this includes my behavior, this includes my
Emotions.
thoughts, my behavior, my emotions. Yes, essentially what I'm trying to say is, who is my inner child? do I have an inner child? I mean, we all do, to be honest, but
Mhm.
how do I treat my inner child? And who am I as Deepa, stripping away all my titles, which is something we talk about in happiness coaching as well. Who is
Mhm.
Deepa without being a happiness coach, without being an HR professional, without being a daughter, without being a wife, a sister, a woman? Who am I?
Mhm.
How am I contributing to the world? What is my purpose? What am I doing here? So that is essentially self awareness, according to me, because you're
Mhm.
becoming more and more aware of your existence altogether. So that's a long answer for you, Sahitya, and
More
that's
aware
essentially
of
how I look at myself.
yeah, and it really makes sense. More aware of your true self.
That's true.
Like and I think we are, as you said, the HR professional, the daughter, the sister, the wife, and of course coaching right now. So
Right.
of course we delve into an identity kind of a thing, that okay, we
True.
are this, but we need to get into that thought process wherein we have to think that are we this or are we someone else. Like, we need to
Right.
get towards that child, the way we were born,
Mm,
how were we born.
absolutely. That's
So
true.
I think you touched upon a very sensitive topic and very deeper topic, because
Mm,
I think people will be like, who thinks like this, who am I? I am, I am this, I'm that, I'm Rahul, I'm Krishna, I'm Swati, I'm Pooja, right?
right.
So,
Right.
uh, but is that just a name given to you, or
Mm,
just the religion given to you, the character that you have built
right.
for yourself?
Right.
So if you could just take us deep dive into, you know, who am I thing.
Absolutely. Are we okay to dwell into a bit of spirituality, or do you think
Yes,
that's going to
yes.
become too deep for everybody?
I think if
Okay,
we
that's
if,
good.
if we dive into spirituality at this point of time, because they have a lot of things people have in mind that spirituality is for people who are like 50s, 60s, right? I
Right.
think we're the right people to actually dive into it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's very interesting that a lot of youngsters, and I mean, side note, I'm calling myself a youngster, but a lot of youngsters, and I say people aged between probably in their mid teens to, until their early 40s, are
Mm-hmm.
already so much more interested in today's day and age in spirituality
Right.
versus how it was before. Like you just said, like people would well into spirituality in their 50s or 60s, and when they're sort of
Mm-hmm.
sorted with their life. But coming back to what we were talking about, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I here? So these are very important questions that you ask yourself. And yes, when I think of a situation that hits me, let's say for example, um, I don't know, think of an example, think of a life event. Maybe let's think of a dark incident, okay? Let's
Mm-hmm.
say I had a fall, something as
Mm-hmm.
simple as that, right? The first thing that I would think of is I'm not going to think about, oh my God, my leg is hurt, which is again very physical. You're going to think, oh my God, my parents are going to get worried. So I'm thinking as a daughter, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, I need to take leave for the next 4 days. I'm thinking as an HR professional. Oh my God, my clients are going to, you know where I'm going, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
always think from an identity perspective, but we sort of fail to think, what does my authentic self feel like right now? How do I
Mm-hmm.
feel? Apart from the pain that I'm going through, how do I feel about this? So that is simply getting in touch with your emotions, being comfortable with your authentic self. Your authentic self is essentially who you are, stripped of
Mm-hmm.
all these titles, your religion, your caste, your geographic origin, etc. And getting in touch with your emotions, accepting yourself, which is what we talk about again and again in happiness coaching,
Right.
accepting your authentic self, right? That is when you start slowly unraveling layers after layers as to who
Mm-hmm.
you are as a person. So, who am I is something that first of all, there is no definitive answer to who you are as a person, let's be honest, because you
Mm-hmm.
just keep digging deeper and deeper, and every day is a new experience. Every day is a mystery. Every day is amazing to know a little bit more about yourself. So it's a
Yes.
journey. Self-awareness is a journey, to be honest. There's no straightforward answer. And I think the issue is a lot of is we're so used to this fast culture of wanting things immediately, and the need to know things immediately, that sort of becomes an issue. So it's important to be patient. It's important to accept your emotions, accept yourself, and just go with the flow. And that is essentially how one of the first few steps to figure out who I am, who is who am I as a soul on this earth, versus who is Deepa, who is she, where does she come from? You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah,
there are two
yeah.
different aspects to this.
So you dived into two things, wherein one is
Mhm.
two important things. One is that something happens to us, then only we start thinking about all this. Like that was
Exactly.
literally hit, literally you hit the right chord. If
Right.
some life event happens to us, then we come towards that, who am I at the end of the day? And second thing is, a
Mm.
lot of people, a lot of my friends, they are we all are aware of ourselves a little bit. Okay, if not deep diving into it, but a little bit we are
Right.
aware, but still this question
Mhm.
keeps coming that, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? I have done this,
Mm.
I've achieved this, but still I'm lacking
Right.
something. So one
Right.
of my friends, he always keeps on saying that,